This afternoon I took a short 45-minute boat ride to Paradise. I think it's called Paradise Cove or something. It is a resort right just outside of Early Beach. It is incredible. After spending weeks and weeks in backpackers and dorms, this is like, pinch me, is this real? It's this millionaire's home in this beautiful isolated cove. It's absolutely stunning. I'm in the hot tub now, which you can see over there. This is the swimming pool. Behind me is the ocean, just incredible. So it's actually quite funny how I ended up on this tour. I was originally supposed to do a sail around the Whitsundays for 2 days, but that got cancelled because the boat was still in for maintenance, and then they booked me to come here actually, but just for one night, because that was in the same price range, and then that got cancelled because there wasn't enough people. So then they gave me a free upgrade to stay here for 2 nights, and then we do all kinds of things around the Whitsundays, which we'll start with tomorrow. So yeah, I was quite lucky at the end of the day. So we made it to the Whitehaven beach, which is the most tooted beach in Australia. It's viewed as the most beautiful. It is pretty incredible. This sand is like made up of 98% silica, so it's super fine, super soft. It's actually illegal to remove sand from here. And this water is just so clean, so clear. Oh my gosh. Definitely one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my life. Just went for like such a cool swim. You can open up your eyes into the water and see everything. Oh, it's a magical place, absolutely magical. What a day, guys. What an incredible day. So after we cruised around to the Whitehaven beach this morning and spent the morning there, which was honestly the most beautiful beach I've ever seen in my life, we went for another little cruise around to a snorkel spot and we did a little bit of snorkeling. Unfortunately, due to the cyclone a couple of months ago, all of the corals had been destroyed, so there wasn't much coral life, but there was still a huge amount of fish. There's lots of fusiliers and a big Maori wrasse that was hanging out under the boat and some trevally, so it was cool to see those fish. But then we were cruising on back and we did a bit of a whale watching tour because this is humpback whale season, and we saw quite a few whales. There's a lot of them out there, but there were 2 phenomenal encounters which were my most amazing whale encounters that I have to explain to you. So the first one, we had kind of cruised out on the boat and we were sitting there just waiting and watching, see if anything would happen, and then all of a sudden the song from The Little Mermaid comes on. Under the sea, under the sea. So we're all like jamming to the song, and our boat is facing into the sun, and all of a sudden right in front of us, about 50 meters away, this whale breaches, like completely lifts itself out of the water 50 meters away from us, and everybody was just like, oh, what the hell happened? It was incredible. And then yeah, so we watched him for a while and then we cruised around a bit, and then we saw a mom and her calf that were just chilling on the surface of the water, and we got right up close to them. Honestly, the boat must have been about 5 meters away from them, and we just chilled with them for a bit, and then eventually they stuck their tails up and ducked down, and oh my gosh, what incredible sightings. I was moved to tears. It was just like one of the most magical things. So I've had a spectacular day out on the Whitsundays today. Absolutely magical.
In that bog there was a hole, a rare hole, a rattling hole in the bog, and the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh. Oh, roll the rattling bog, the bog down in the valley, oh.
So this is our last morning at Paradise Cove. We spent the morning paddleboarding. It was my first time stand-up paddleboarding. It was really cool actually. There are a couple of, if you look at the bay, there's like a couple of mangroves along the edge there. So I just went along, spotted some baby blacktip reef sharks, so that was quite cool. And now we are all just chilling on the lawn for our last hour here. Hello lovelies, I am on my second to last stop on my Australian adventure in a small town called Noosa on the Sunshine Coast. Really pretty little town. Just got in this morning with the bus, flew from Airlie Beach yesterday into Brisbane, so I'm spending the day just walking around the town having a look. I just got to the beach over here, enjoying my first ever Ben & Jerry's ice cream, absolutely delicious. So yeah, just exploring a bit today, and then tomorrow heading through to the national park to do some hiking. So I've made it to the Noosa National Park today. I am doing the coastal track hike, which is 10 to 11 kilometers return, and you just do a nice gentle track that follows the coastline. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be really pretty, so enjoy the views with me. Check what I just spotted on this track. It's a goanna. Today is Zoo Day. I am at the Australia Zoo, also known as the Steve Irwin Zoo. It's still run by the Irwin family, so there's a lot of faces of Steve Irwin around, and there's a big emphasis on crocs and alligators and stuff. But I'm here today because I have been in Australia for 5.5 weeks and I still haven't seen a kangaroo. So today I have to see a kangaroo. And I know there's lots of varied opinions about zoos. Some people like them, some people don't, but you know, I feel that if animals are taken care of, if they have habitats that mimic their natural environment, if they have large enough enclosures, I personally don't have any problems with the zoos, and I think they do a lot more good than they do harm, because people get to experience animals and they get to connect with animals, and it's that connection that will then turn people into conservationists and people who want to save animals. So I have no problem with zoos like these. I'm really excited today. There's a lot of Australian wildlife that I haven't seen yet that I really want to see. For example, the kangaroos, some wombats, and a platypus. I really want to see a platypus. So yeah, today is an animal day. I'm super excited. Some kangaroos, and they're all like roaming free. It's so cool. Have a look. It's the weirdest things how they use their tails to hop. It's like a fifth leg. It's incredible. And how many places in the world can you get a selfie with a kangaroo? I'm sorry, this is awesome. So the first time I heard about this animal was on Orpheus Island when somebody was chatting to me about it, and it's something called an echidna. It is so cute. It's like a mix between a porcupine and an elephant shrew. I don't know what it is, but it's cute. Have a look at this. I feel like this is also an appropriate place to talk a little bit about stingrays, considering every time I tell somebody I'm working on stingrays, their response is, "Oh, did you know a stingray killed Steve Irwin?" So I feel like a little bit of a traitor here. But yeah, so stingrays aren't actually very dangerous. What happened to Steve was a very, very unfortunate incident. Yes, stingrays have stings on their tails, but they are not aggressive animals. They are not going to come up and attack you. They use it as a last offense because it's kind of like a bee. So once they sting you, the sting comes off. They don't grow another one. They'll only use their sting in like very rare circumstances when they feel trapped, and it's their last line of defense. Other than that, they're just going to try to swim away from you like all other animals. They're more afraid of you than you are of them, so they'll get a fright, they swim away. The only way it can possibly kill you is if the sting gets you in like a vital organ or in your heart or lacerates one of your arteries so that you bleed out. I think that's what happened to good old Steve Irwin. But yeah, other than that, if it stings you, it's going to hurt, but it's very rare chance that you will actually die. So I've just had such an incredible day at the zoo here. It's such a magical place, and they do so many cool shows, but the shows aren't there so that the animals can do tricks for the people. The shows are there to actually enrich the animals. So they have a tiger show where they make toys and stuff and they play with the tigers so the tigers can get up and move around. They're just like big cats just having a blast. And then they do the same thing with the otters. They bring out toys at the end of the day, and just it's really enrichment for the animals, which is really refreshing to see. And it's all education based, so they love educating the public, and it's just a very, very cool place.